Alright, looks like we're streaming. I don't expect anybody to be on yet, but I'm gonna jabber away anyway. So, how are we doing on audio today? Seems a little quiet. Don't know that there's anything I can do about that. Let's maybe bump up the gain. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Yeah, I'm not sure that matters. Okay, let's get started. So in the block editor tool, in addition to just making blocks and things, you can make building parts. The tool supports, hey, I don't know what that's saying. Anyway, so you can make building parts and then build up a database of parts that can then be used in floor plans and randomly generate buildings. And so we're going to walk through some of what that takes. And I've got to kind of remember how to use the tool myself at this point. But it starts with we create something, and usually I use like a 4x4 grid. The tool supports any size parts basically, but they all need to be the same or based on the same, and it's all going to be based off of one of the corners. So if we pick a what do we want to start with? Let's start with the capped rock. Not that. We want the blocks. Oh, did I not make any? Oh, it's going to be a short trip if I've never made a rock capped. There we go. That's what we want, cubed. Okay, so like say we want to build a floor up, stone floor. So we got a floor like that. We want to add some walls and doors and things. So let's pick up, see we want, let's try mudstone. Let's make a wall. Is that the one I want? It is, in fact, the one I want. So we'll make a door here. Which way? And I'll put we'll have a window over here. And then I'll put a stone in the corner. Stone cube in the corner. And now we've got basic building part. Yeah, a lot of times I'll go ahead and put the next level up too. So you can see my sample down here. I'm trying to remember how to use the tool, and this is my sample from a stair block from what I did with the basic block tool. So we use wood, and we'll make like a pillar above the top. So this will be just a regular open corner. And we'll use this, we'll say create part, and we'll call this, basically give it a bunch of tags. We'll say this is going to be a ground floor, a corner, it has a door, and has a window. But row. Do I not have the directory created, or is it not happy with the file name? Let's try again. Well, let me check. Hold on a second. Okay, it does have a structure DB. Let's try creating a part again from this. Create part. So we're just going to say ground. Yeah, so it's not liking that. Maybe we need a parts directory. Let's try. Yeah, I should have tried this before I actually started the live stream, but okay, let's try again. So it wasn't the commas that I had a problem with. Ground, corner, whoops, corner, door, window. Okay, yeah, that's what we needed. Okay, so we can delete these two. Actually, I don't think you can delete them from the tool. Yeah, glad you could make it. As you get to see me fumble around with my own tools. Thanks for joining us. So apparently I've never added a delete. And so to get these other ones to go away, I'm going to have to hand rotate. Anyway, we can... one of the things the tool will do is it'll show you like all the different rotations and stuff, so you can see test rotate. Oh, nice. Yay. All right. Well, that's good. It's important to die. Okay, so that's one of the reasons I can't find the file. So I believe I'm going to have to hand edit. You guys get to see really the sausage here. Oh, that's the wrong. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's. I mean, really, when I did research and development, you know, we talked about if you're not failing half the time, then you're not cutting edge enough. And I've taken that to heart. You know, if you're not really failing, then really, are you pushing the boundaries of anything? So I suppose it's all important. And so in the structure DB, we want to edit the parts index. And I think we want to get rid of these first two. And then we'll run the tool again. All right, let's try it. That's how the sausage is made. All right, so I think if we go to the parts DB, we go here and we say edit blocks. Yeah, okay. Now can we say test rotations? Oh, it doesn't like it. So apparently I broke the test rotations thing at some point, but it doesn't matter. I have enough to show you a basic building, and maybe you'll start to get an idea of how the tool works and how we can create like Lego parts that the building gets made of. So we've got a parts database. We've only got the one part in here. It looks like that. Do we have to do detect masks? Yeah. Okay, so that'll detect the masks and set it up. Basically, when you get a part the way you like it, it'll detect the masks on these faces so that it knows to the public server is up, as a matter of fact. It had been down for some time, and I brought it up again recently. So the public server is up. If you go to the Mythruna download page, the download link was broken for a long time apparently, and someone told me about that. So I fixed the download link, so the download link should work for the game. There's no new public build. That's the 10-year, coming up on 10-year-old version. But that server is still there, and you can still log in and wander around and see all the stuff we built. I have like fantasies about in the new Mythruna engine trying to import that old world. Because the new world is so big and the scale is so different, all of that old world would be loaded into a range where you could actually see like everything, which would be kind of fun. I don't know if it'll kill the engine or not, but it'd be kind of fun. Okay, so anyway, back on topic here for a second. So we've created this part, and we can make different ones, but let's say we want to make a floor. We're going to create a new floor type. Yeah, community town. So we would call this one ground. It's just a ground 2x2 floor. I think, yeah, I probably should have put that in the name. So basically, we've created a floor. It's 2x2. We've got slots here, which we can say we want to be able to do. Why doesn't it pick all rotations? Yeah, so you can say I want to do any of the rotations here, but it doesn't actually. We don't want that. It's funny. You want only certain rotations will work for this particular thing. You need corners for one thing, so it requires corner, which is why we tagged it with a corner. Oh no, that's for the whole. Will it let me delete it? Yep. Okay, so for this particular slot, we want it to be a corner. And we support, certain rotations this corner can take. It can take it just like this, or if you've mirrored the X and the Y, which is the same as, gosh. When I created this tool, I had them all memorized. So we can mirror it X and Y, which is the same as rotate 90 mirror X, I believe. Rotate 90 mirror. Why doesn't it show up here? Therefore, we're supposed to see a corner. All right, let's see what we got. We got none. It's just going to be the way it is. Rotate 90. We get that. Rotate 180. Yeah, see. I believe we can support. Oh, because we can support none and we can support rotate 90. I think that's the way it works. And so for here, we can support rotate 90, and then we can support mirror X. Okay, that's what it is. So you build up these things. So here we can support rotate minus 90, which is 270, and we can support then mirror Z. Yeah. And then here we can support rotate 180, or rotate 90 mirror Z. Yep. Okay. So that's the way that works. And so each of these requires a corner. Technically, I could have put this on, because there's a 2x2 floor, I could have put this just on the floor itself. I'm going to kind of explain what's going on here in a second, but I feel like it's easier with an example. So this is a ground, so we're going to put, it's a ground floor, so it's always going to have ground parts. Basically what we're doing is we're defining a floor template. We've said the floor is called ground. We can change that name, ground 2x2 or whatever. We can have tags here, which is how, if we were searching for floors for the building itself, we could have tags that limited that. But basically, you define this a 2x2 grid. It requires that all of its parts have the word ground in their tags. We could reject things, like if we didn't want specific things, like maybe you have, city buildings and farm buildings and things, and you could reject certain things if you were trying to make only city buildings. You define what each of those slots can have. That's each of these, so each of them has to have a corner, but like we could make sure that there was always a door in one corner, stuff like that. So this should be all set to go. We should be able to test the floor. Yeah, okay, so it's not a very interesting floor, right, because it's only got one part to work with, right? So all 4 parts of this template use the same part, but it did randomize them in the sense that they're flipped different ways and rotated different ways. So if we tested it again, we would get different door and window configurations as it flips through different parts. But really what we want to do is build up a database of parts. So we'll go back to edit these blocks. So here we'll have one that's a One that's, we'll create a part from this, and this one will be ground, corner, window. There's no door here. Okay, so we got that. Now if we tested our building, if we test our floor again, it's going to have that as it's available to its database. So we'll get, see, we'll get some corners with no doorway at all. In fact, we have 2 doors here. Oh, that's the other thing. So you can require, where's where we say, oh, that's when we build the building. Yeah, okay. So the floor can have any number of these things. When we go to build a building and we stack floors, we can tell each floor that it has to have at least 1 door, maybe at least 1 stairway, that kind of thing, so your building can still function. Because technically a floor is okay if it doesn't have any doors, but not as part of a building. So anyway, we've got just 2 parts now. It's not very interesting. We want to make more parts. We probably want some stairs so we can start making a 2nd floor. Also, our building is only 2 by 2, which is not very interesting. We want to create center areas and things like that. But let's go back to our parts database. We want to edit these blocks because we're going to make a new one. And maybe in this one, we're going to have an interior wall. Whoops. Selected the wrong block. So in this one, we're going to have an interior wall. We're going to close that window off. Yeah, it's actually similar to what I had worked on in Mythruna, because I could generate random towns in Mythruna. It just, because there is actually a town I randomly generated just by clicking in and putting buildings down. Anyway, let's go ahead and build this out. So like that. So now we've got like a little dead-end room kind of thing. Oh, you know what I haven't been doing is generating the masks. So anyway, let's create this part. Say ground, corner. Yep, that's, oh, it still has a window in it. And the reason I always put window in, even when it has it, is because there may be floors where we don't want to have windows and you could reject them based on that. I probably could have added a tag for the interior wall. So add a tag wall. We'll just make a tag for walls. Maybe you have some floors like warehouses that wouldn't have any walls at all, interior walls at all. Went to detect the masks. This one was this one. Oops. Oh, yes. Yeah, so that's this one. I put the yeah, detect the masks. I did that one. I put the wall on the wrong. And this tool that I'm using is, so there's the Mythruna open source software initiative, which is called MOSS, M-O-S-S, that is going to be open source. It's currently private only because I don't have the time to support it yet, and it's still being developed as Mythruna is developing. But like at least 80% of the Mythruna engine is going to be based on this code, and this particular tool is part of the MOSS tool set, available as early access to patrons, as long as they don't expect a whole lot of support. At any rate, the way it's set up is that if you have your own block sets and your own custom geometry and stuff, you can just import it into your project, use your own assets, because that's what Mythruna is doing, and that's why we have like the Mythruna textures and stuff, which are, you know, private to Mythruna. And so I've basically imported this into the Mythruna project, has access to all my custom stuff for Mythruna, and it still works as a tool. So anyone could use it that way for their projects, you know, when it's released or when they have as patrons get early access. There's been a couple people who've done that. Okay, so detect masks for this one. Everybody's got masks now. So what the masks do is they tell us, you know, which walls are open and closed and stuff for lining up doorways. sometimes you require that, like if we had a doorway here, we can mark it as required, in which case it has to be adjoining some other thing. And I'll do that in a second with a new part. But you can see down here how the masks work. Like north, there's nothing because it's blocked. South, we've got like some parts open. East, there's nothing. It's all totally blocked. West, we've got just a little window. How these masks work out isn't super important. Up, there's a thing. Anyway, down is super blocked. So from here, we should be able to go back over our floors, test our floor. And see, now we've got an interior wall. And if we test the floor in different ways, yeah, now we've got like 2 interior walls. It kind of creates a cool look. Other thing about this tool is this is the same one I was using to edit the boat the other day, or the ship the other day. You can walk around inside and see what the scale are really. Especially as we get more complicated buildings, you have to walk around inside, because if they're like multi-story, you have to walk upstairs and downstairs and stuff like that. So we've got a pretty good first floor going on. I'll do one more thing. Let's make yeah. So my big push is to trying to get something releasable, soonish. I have visions of, my dream is to get to alpha by June of 2022, because that would be the 10-year anniversary of the last public release of Mythruna. It's becoming increasingly likely that that is not going to happen, like at least not alpha, but I'll have some release of the engine before then. I'm making a big push this Christmas break, assuming no medical issues crop up, that to get in and try to get like the last critical unknowns done. Anyway, so let's maybe say we want to make a closed-in room, and let's say the interior uses wood posts. Okay, let's see. Copy that. Oh, here so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so make this closed room stone on the outside. Okay. So that's not a very interesting room on its own, but we can cut a doorway. And like if we create a part from this corner, let's like keep a ground corner window wall. Okay, so we got that. Detect masks. Now, if we just use this in our floor, there's a chance that's going to put that doorway right up against some other wall. Let's see. How many times do we have to randomize before we can see the problem? It's not even using that part for some reason. Oh, there it is. Okay, see how many times we can. Yeah, so, well, we almost got it there. If it had put the door over here, we would have had a problem. I mean, one thing I can do, the parts DB, can we say, yeah, so we can, like this is the one, right? No, this is the one. And so we can actually up frequency, so we can say, yeah, we want this one 10 times more likely to happen. And so now if we test our floor, we should be more likely to get a problem. Huh. Yeah, okay. Almost got it. It might be outsmarting me. There might be some... It's not supposed to... one thing else we can do to test what I'm talking about is we can require a wall. So now every part should have, oh, yeah, it must be checking the masks because it's rejecting floors. I know it's wrong. It's not wrong, it's right. It is being smart. And the reason it's being smart is because there's functionality in there to make sure all parts of the floor are reachable. Even if it's through a window, I think. Okay, yeah, single dev. Really wish I could. Single dev project with the hurdles you had to go through 10 years is both a super quick time. Yeah, I want to get it to, I mean, I spent an hour walking around in the world the other night, and there's nothing to do. You can literally just walk around. You can't even edit blocks in the new world right now because I'm still testing like the far terrain and the physics and stuff. And I just like saw places on the map that I wanted to go to, so I walked there because I thought it was fun to walk through the trees and over the hills. And that's not even the real fractal yet, so it's not even the real world. I just had fun. Yeah, in the dev world, indeed. Amen. Okay, so let's go back and undo. Yeah, it just seemed like for a long time, every time I made definite plans about anything, you know, something would happen, and I'd have like stuff to deal with. So now I try not to make hard definite plans, and I just do what I can with the time I got. I am trying to make a big push this year, you know, just through the end of 2021 for sure, and then 2022, because it's like poop or get off the pot, sort of, so to speak. Okay. So yeah, apparently I don't need to get into the required and that stuff. But let's make another interesting part here before we make stairs and start working on the upstairs. So let's select the wood, and it's not post, we want a vertical cylinder within vertical cylinder. Okay, so that's kind of, that'll be kind of interesting, right? And maybe this is like a storage area, so there's no window. And so we'll create apart from this, ground, corner. That's it. It's the only thing special. And detect masks. What did I want to do? I wanted to check. Yeah, all these had windows. They all said they had windows. Okay, so now if we test our floor, hopefully sometimes we'll get that post version. Yeah, there we go. That's kind of cool. Let's go walking around inside. Yeah, see, it's kind of visually interesting. Yeah, there's a problem with the tangents on these posts because it looks like the dents for the wood are pushing out instead of in for the wood panels. Something I'll have to fix. All right. So I think we've got good floors for, you know, 2x2 building with no straight parts. So for a corner, we're now maybe set up to make stairs. Stairs are always tricky. Because you have to think about how they're going to interact with the floor above. And then there's never a lot of space in here. So let's see. What we want is, how's this work? I think we do a high beam, but not that one. We want this one. High beam like that. No. Let's start on the ground. Always got to start on the ground. And it really doesn't matter which direction we go, so we can start that way, but we're going to start that way. And then we want high beam, but we want the other side. Okay, so we're making stairs. Right. And then we want a block here. Or low slab, right? Nope. Yeah. I can never remember how to get this geometry right. Because we've already run out of space. I know it can be done because I have done it. But it might have been that I needed to put it. Let's just see if the geometry works. Yeah, see, it's not gonna. I'm doing something wrong. I can cheat. I can go and look and see how I did it. Oops, that's not where I want to be. I'm going to cheat and see how I did it in the sample, which I cheated and I based that. So this is the open source part, the Moss part, which is just like a basic block set. It's mostly solid colors. We ought to really kill frame rate here for a second. Running 2 of these apps. But if we go to the parts DB here, I ought to have, let's see, just look at ground, stairs, filter, ground side stairs, ground corner stairs, edit blocks. Okay, so what geometry did I use here? Okay, so I did low beam, high beam, low beam. Yeah, I can't see. So I'll clear some blocks away so that I can see. Oh, well that's cheating because this one has full upper slabs. Oh, but that's actually a top block. So yeah. Low beam, high beam, low beam. And it is high because it'll be a full-size block. Okay. Exit. Okay, so low beam, high beam, then we'll do another low beam. So anybody who ever thinks I know what I'm doing, can just rewind this video and watch it again. Okay, so then we should get a high beam here. And wrong way. Yep, okay. And then a low beam. Other way. Low beam. And then another block like that. And we have stairs. And then to make them look like we meant to do it, we'll put a post. Like just like that. Actually, that's perfect. Oops. Okay. Except for people are going to fall through the floor if we don't do something like this. Or at least have put, we might be able to get away with panels, but you know what, let's just do solid. And it's always tricky. Can I sneak in here and steal this? Nope. Could the first high beam on the bottom? Yeah, it could, but I wanted kind of this understairs effect, right? I actually would have preferred not having this part below hanging down also, but the thin slabs in the Mythruna block set, like if I go to the high slab here, it's a little too thin because it's like this, right? So it would like create a funky, there'd be a gap in the stairs. But I actually want this understair part, so I wanted it to look like blocks of stairs. Anyway, I think I will add some interest here though, and do that so it looks like we're trying to be safe. And then we will go to high beam. Is that the one I want? Nope. Nope. Stupid mouse wheel. That's the one I want. Put that there. And I think that lets us still walk up the stairs. And so now is where we have to get tricky because I cheated and I reused the fluid blocks. So there's like a keep, which means like we can mark this. Oops. Oh no. Oh no. So we can mark that as keep, which means that's funny that it's using the Mythruna water blocks. Hold on. Somebody's dinging my phone. Okay. Right. And then we can also require that this part be open. And so we have the ability to say keep. And this is required. You just have to trust me. It does make sense. So this is required that otherwise if you had a second floor and you got to the top of the stairs and there was a wall right here, you couldn't go anywhere. So we require that this is open, which means, you know, yeah, we'll make sure that there's a doorway here. Now we can create a part from this, and we'll call it ground corner stairs. Right, and ground corner stairs, detect the masks. Actually, it already had masks, so maybe it does that automatically and I don't have to constantly tell it to do that. And so now if we test our floors, we should get some. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot it won't remove the anyway, test the floor again. Do we get stairs? So say sometimes we get stairs, and we want to go and look and see what that's like. Yeah, we got stairs. It looks like we have headroom to get up the stairs. Yep. A doorway. Yep. So now we could make second floor parts. All right. So that's what our little simple buildings look like so far. And you know, we're coming up on an hour. I don't want to do this much past an hour and a half. Like that seems to be my normal time, 90 minutes. So let's work on second floor parts. And just real quick, we'll do some. So corner ground window. We'll start from this. Yes, really abandon current changes. Okay. So we'll start from this one just because it's a good template for a size. Hey, how come? Oh, yeah, I see. Oh, duh. Yeah, I wish I need to make the cursor different because I'm still in fluid mode, which is why. There we go. So let's get rid of these. And get rid of these. And this. We'll just, no, I think we want everything to be the wattle and daub. try that. And then a wall. And a window. Let's move the window there. Okay. And a window there. But Paul, there's no floor. Yeah, we're going to do that next. So that's where we go with the high slab. And there's a problem I'm going to have to sort out. Okay, so we've got our second floor. A second floor corner. It's a narrow corner. Create part. Second corner window. Okay. Corner second window. Yep, that's us. It's already got masks detected. And our floors DB, we require ground, so if we test the floor, we're never going to see those, right? We got to create a new floor. We'll call this one second 2x2. Okay. And for this one, like if we tested it right now, it's got nothing. We don't think, oh, we haven't set up the template yet. So let me set up the template. And we decide we got known rotation here and rotation mirror X. Yep. And then we got mirror X. Wait, we got rot 90 and mirror X. Yep. And then for this corner, rotation 180 and rot 90 mirrors. Yep. I should have a standard template. I thought I did. Because I certainly got tired of creating these. Anyway, so we got our template set up. We got no requires, no rejects. So if we try to test this floor, it's just gonna, oh, yeah, see, we get random second floor, first floor parts. It looks like some kind of Frankenstein. But what we want is, this one requires second. Okay, so now if we test the floor, we're only going to get second floors. And this is the part that I'm going to have to come back and fix later because the tool doesn't really know about when it rotates the part, it rotates the floors too. And there's some parts we don't want to rotate when it rotates or mirrors for the generation. Anyway, we're going to have to create another couple parts just to get us off the ground here, so to speak. So let's make one that's got a bump out so I can show you that you don't have to stick with the 4x4. You just got to watch this corner. You can extend out in any direction, but you got to watch that corner all the time. So we can actually, and you got to make sure you match up with the neighbor guy. So we can extend this wall out. We want to leave that. We're going to do inverted wedge. Inverted wedges. Right there. Right there. Right, do I want it on the, I think maybe like that, and then we'll high slab. This is the way that N in Mythruna is made, and I kind of liked the look, so we're going to continue that. And we'll pump that up like that, like this. Yeah, that's the one I want. See, we already have a problem here, in that we've got to be able to So we want to make sure that we would match up with that other tile, at least at the corner. Really, we probably want to go even further and at least create a little bit of a wall here. And we could probably leave this blank and it'll fill in most of the time, and if not, it'll get I mean, you can explain it away. One thing I found with the random generation, and I probably said this before, is that like if you're overly random and you create things that look a little implausible, your imagination can fill in a story about why that is. But if you overly constrain your buildings and your random generation to the point where it's boring, there's nothing that's going to fix that. It's just going to be boring. So that's the same one. Yep. Okay, so we got that. So we go here, we can test the floor. Yeah, see, now we got bump outs. Look at that. So, I mean, I may change my mind and go back and put a... The thing is, if you had another floor on top of this, chances are it would have floor beams and things that would come and potentially fill that in, because there's an overlap between floors by one block. So we've got enough almost to create a full floor, but we're going to need a place for the stairs to come up. So perfections in the imperfections. Yes, exactly right. I mean, there's a certain level of implausible that's just not cool. Like, you know, and there's some of it you just can't avoid. You know, in Minecraft you get, you know, potentially places where there's just rock floating in the air because of the algorithm left them up there. I guess they may have fixed that, but certainly happened in Mythruna, where the caves would carve things out in such a way that you'd get this little plot of rock just floating in the air. That's implausible. You can't explain it away without a lot of imagination, right? Okay, so let's quickly create. So here's another thing we can do. We say we create this. Yep. So we're going to create a part. Call it second corner pit, window pit. And pit is the name I give to floors that have no floor. Parts that have no floor. Yeah, so now if we test our floors, we should occasionally get those things. Yep. Wizard did it. Answer for everything. That's true. Sip my beverage. Okay, so we've got the makings of a second floor. It's not very interesting because it doesn't have many interior walls, but it's enough to get us to the next level, which is to make some buildings, right? So we've got 2 floors. And we can go over here and we can make a new, let's call it basic 3-story building. Yeah, basic 3. Just for testing. I'm probably going to delete this one. But it's for, so we've got nothing. We are going to add, let's hope I get this right. I believe you add the first floor first, right? That would make sense. The second floor, right? So then, yeah, I believe that's the way it works. And now if we test the building, we get a building. It didn't do a very good job because it made floors right where the stairs should be, and so on and so forth. I believe, what's the deal with that? The stairs. there's a way to tell the stairs, but I didn't have to do it in the, I think that you have to say like that's required to make sure that there's a place up. And there's something about the shapes of the, if you want these to stack, like if we made a second floor stairs that had like stairs up from below, there's a you've got to match the patterns. If you have too many of these corner blocks, sometimes they align badly. Should I be able to save this? It should know. So like if we went to this one, edit this one, come back here, edit this one. Yep, okay, so it should still remember. Let's try testing the building again. Oh well. New. Test the building again. Yeah. Now it shouldn't put stairs through floors anymore. It may not have stairs. Okay. Except it did. Why is that? Shouldn't do that. Anyway, let's move on. So one of the things you can do is you can say, for the ground, we want to have at least a door, and I don't know what that means. At least a door and at least one stairs, and we want a max. Well, I think I can do door. I think I was smart about this. Yeah, so I can have at most 2 doors and no more than 1 stairs. So now if we test the building, it'll always put at least 1 door, sometimes 2, never more than 2, and at least 1 stairs. It's required. Yep, and now it's actually doing a good job. Yep, did it again. I'm not sure why. I have to look into that. There's a constraint I'm forgetting how to set. But here's a decent one to test. So if we go wander around, boink. So we got a neat little building, 2 doors. Got a little back room over here. Right, and then head up the stairs. 1 big giant room. We've got no roof yet, no attic, none of that stuff, but you can kind of see how it works. And it's nice, it saves this database automatically, but if you wanted to see more advanced stuff, let's I think I can exit out. I've got everything saved. Yep. Okay, so if we want to see more advanced example before I cut off for the day, you can look at the one, because I already created like an extensive database in here in the open source version. The open source kit, we've got all kinds of buildings. So we've got like let's see, what do we get? Test building. Yeah, so we get like monstrous different buildings with bump outs and roofs and things. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I can't wait to get to different styles of buildings, like desert buildings and city buildings and things like that, where you could then pick that. Yeah, so we have like, I wanted to do a building that had like high and low parts with different roofs. The split building is crazy, and it generates buildings that don't work. I mean, we put a door, I don't know, put like a ground floor door up here. It's crazy to walk around in these buildings though, and they sometimes don't work. There's a the algorithm was not designed for this kind of pathfinding. Like, see, it did not put a door on the first floor of that side. We did get a nice little door over here, so we could go wander around. but sometimes it, oh, so it gets very dark in here. So we got like reachability problems here. Yeah, so there should be another stairs. Yeah, we missed so we missed the second staircase, I think. Yeah, so then we have to cheat. We'll go through the wall here. There might be a staircase up here. Hold on a second. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, see, we got it has problems with this particular building template because the algorithm was not designed for this. But I wanted to see if it would do it, and a lot of times it will. Yeah, so see, now we're in the part that joins the two halves together, so we can get to all the parts of the building. Find another staircase, run upstairs to the attic, where you got like these cool, rafters and things. I don't know, it makes some neat buildings. But it's a monster. I I don't know if I'd ever really create a building like that, but who knows? Big city, you might have something crazy like that. We've got, yeah, so we got the regular, simple one story. I think these are all like 1 story plus a roof. And you got simple 2. Yeah, simple 2 is just a 2x3 building, allows balconies and bump outs and things. But these are all the parts I'm going to recreate with the Mythruna block set, because like these little bump outs, they work pretty good. And actually they're all recreations of things I did in the original Mythruna, which is why I created this sort of fake gridded wattle and daub just with the solid blocks. And then we've got like a taller building, which is still 2x3. And then so there's another high-low, simple 2x2. So that's more like the one we just created in the other. And yeah, so this one's got just a low roof. Let's see if it made stairs. Yep. So this is a little house. It's got some stairs up to the 2nd floor. Little playing around with that. Yeah. There's a guy, Bob, in the JMonkey Engine chat. He was making something and needed some buildings, so I randomly generated a bunch of them and exported them as J3O files for him and just send him over. So this tool was immediately useful for him in that sense. Yeah, so this building, I'm fond of this one. It's L-shaped. I guess I haven't created an official L-shaped version, but this is like the most interesting building to walk around in, and it's got some interesting roof characteristics, the way those join up. That was tricky getting that with the Mythruna parts. Are the block types, getting things to join up. So we can find like interesting floors. Like this is the 2nd floor. Little rooms it made for itself. I mean, this just, I don't know about you guys, but this makes my imagination go crazy. And I just want to like wander around towns and towns of this stuff, and it's just a waste of time, but like it's a fun waste of time. So now we're up here. It's not always good about reachability on these upper floors. Like we can kind of get over here, but but you can always explain it away, like maybe they use this for storage, and so they don't care that they can't walk over there. I don't know, man. I don't know. So anyway, that's it. And you can actually just test random buildings where it'll select random ones and just pick them. It's just so, and this is all just one style of building, basically. Just, you could think of like all stone buildings, sandstone buildings for the desert, or maybe, sandstone, stucco, brick and stucco for desert. Things that are just all wood with no wattle and daub for like, just right. You can make different styles of buildings and use them in different contexts. This is just one kind of set of templates. So I'm very excited about it, and I'm glad you guys could join me while I started working out some of the Mythruna stuff. I'm going to have to go and sort of recreate all of these parts that I have here. Just like we've got it's not a tremendous amount of parts, but we've got a lot of, weird, you see all the keep blocks. I made way too many different kinds of stairs. Like you've got these kind of stairs and these kind of stairs with a hole underneath so you can stack them, and these kind of stairs that have a wall, and these kind of stairs that, all kinds of stairs. Thanks. Yeah, I'm going to try to do these every other night. Of course, I said that, and it didn't even occur to me that the day after tomorrow is Christmas Eve, and I don't know if I'm going to be up for a live stream on Christmas Eve, but so probably not again until the 26th. And I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but I definitely need to get my character models worked out, and I'm to the point where I need to start bringing in, the avatars. So I need to actually have not just the little chicken pinkin thing I worked on the other night, but I think I'm going to load up the old Mythruna girl and Mythruna guy models, which are super low poly, and see if I can expand the polys a little bit, make them a little rounder, and see if I can map them to the custom clothing, which is the other thing I'll give you a little sneak peek of. What did we get? Yeah, I'm not doing a stream on Christmas. What did I call this? I think I put it in the rigger, even though it's not rigging. But when I make new people models, I need to make them compatible with my... I get these weird... I think we may have become popular among different crowd here. So when I import new characters, like, yeah, it's my lame model that I made. But essentially, this is, you can create your own custom clothing. And so I need to make sure that the UV maps are, in any of the new stuff I create, that the UV maps are set up for this. Like right now we've got this guy is wearing, yeah, it could be probably. And so like he's wearing he's got chainmail on right now, but I can take the chainmail off. Or maybe the chainmail doesn't, maybe I wanted to make it, like I can find this and I want to, oops, what did I do? Oh, I wasn't selecting chainmail. So you got like some different fabric types I created. Where's the chainmail? There it is. So we could put like chainmail here. But you can essentially create whatever. So this is leather on here. You can take the leather off. You can take it back down to his chest, bare chest. And so when I make, I can take his belt off. So yeah, it seems I've become popular among Russian bots. So anyway, you've got, with this I can make custom clothing, and yeah, create different shirts, and so we can reset the workspace. Yes, really clear workspace. So yeah, back to naked guy. But we can like cover him in just raw chainmail, that kind of thing. And you can build clothing parts and things, and save them. So, but anyway, that means that any new models I create or want to use in the game, I have to make them UV mapped compatible with this system so that I can create custom clothing for it. And so that's what I'll be working on soon, is getting the Mythruna girl and Mythruna guy, and at least the basic version rounded off and UV mapped. So that's sneak peek at a future live stream. We'll be messing with Blender to get my models set up. All right, I'm gonna call it, guys, because I think I hear my kids trying to go to bed, or my teenage daughter trying to go to bed, and I may go tuck her in. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next live stream. Thanks. See you online.